This is something I'm very excited about. The Paladin changes. Last Epoch. Let's see them. Ooh, Paladin changes. Let's go. Right.
Window capture.
Quick before someone stops us.
Yeah, I had to like take all my idols out so I don't, leak anything.
Okay,
And then
your screen is now full screen.
and then-
Oh, all the idols are gonna be what's called. All the idols he has is what's called spoilers.
then I had to replace some of my items to not just be the base set items because
Jesus.
yeah.
Because
Anyways, okay, so Vulcan Reversal is now a combo ability.
ability that jumps forward in time to target location and performs a melee attack on arrival. Recast within 3 seconds to jump backwards in time to your original location. Perform a melee attack. What if you don't cast though? Like, is it still does it still jump you forward in time?
That first
Like,
jumps,
does it still jump
forward
you
in time,
back?
and then when you use it again, it goes back and it does some melee attack on both cases. I think I'm just gonna unspec this so I can show you the default. So the first, and then if I do second, it just slams backwards where I was.
Okay,
so
nice.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Not pretty cool. It's actually pretty clean too. I think there's like a very tiny cast delay. Like there's a cast time kind of thing. But overall, you know. Now I don't think this replaces shield charge in traversal. This will likely replace lunge, but I don't know if they changed lunge though.
Cool. And you can do.
Though lunge has a higher range, so hard to say. I don't know if I mean if you have this, you definitely won't be using lunge, right? So
do some interesting stuff with it. For example, Devouring Orb has some cool new tech here, where you can consume all other orbs. So you actually have it here. So if I just
but do you need to do that though? Because most people build it unless they changed how Divine Orb works. Like if you make it orb around you, do you really need to like do the other ones?
where you can consume all other orbs. So
Okay.
I actually have it here. So if I just cast Devouring Orb here, normally if you cast another one, it's just there, but now it consumes the other one, and it does more damage, and it's bigger as a result. So one of the cool things here is that you can bring them with you. With
Like that's really cool. But I'm just wondering like if it's already on you anyways, if it's already rotating on you, right? Would that matter?
and that means that you can like pile them up into like this one big pile of stuff, and then it does a lot more damage.
Yeah.
And there's other interesting stuff, like you can actually make it not be a traversal skill. It still has a cooldown, but then you can use other abilities if you want. And there's just a bunch of interesting stuff here.
Wait.
There's a so the skill design, the base function, you have the first and the second one. So you have the ability to go back in time. So we can do stuff in that time period. For example, we can just provide you frenzy when you're between the first and the second. But if you want,
One sec. First look second combo ability is removed when the melee attack deals more damage. Okay. And it's multiplicative. Oh. Nice. Multi reversal deals damage in a larger area. Okay, that is nice. But why did they say it's no longer a traversal? Looks like it's still a traversal.
you can just remove the second combo altogether. So now you can actually just
Boom.
have it as a proper traversal skill that doesn't go backwards.
Okay.
And that removes the possibility of staying with the frenzies, for example.
Yes, because you no longer have the ability to go backwards.
Exactly.
So what I like a lot is,
Honestly, this is probably the only way I would be using it. I don't like the whole back and forth kind of thing. Personally, like I just like I don't like keeping track of where I was and shit like that. Like just not a fan. So having it on a lower cooldown and being able to like jump forward, I think is so much better.
Orbs, I put them back, and then we'll just
Nice.
There's some cool stuff there. What else?
Yeah.
You have
Definitely
so
a
many
lot
changes
to
here.
play
Oh
with.
yeah,
Yes.
Sigils of Hope is no longer sigils.
Okay.
It's now symbols.
Every 2 seconds summons a symbol that orbits you, causing you and your allies attacks and spells to deal 3 additional fire damage and increase health regeneration by 20%. Activate to consume the symbol, granting 100 ward. Can have up to 3 sigils. So they are there permanently. Like within 6 seconds, you have the 3 sigils. And they don't go away until you use it. Nice.
Symbols of hope.
Symbols
for
of hope.
some reason, yeah. And we completely changed the base functionality of it. So previously, you had basically three ways, since we introduced the unique, but for the vast majority of the time of the skill was you cast it, it costs a lot of mana, and you have a duration for the sigil that
Oh, yeah.
give you some buffs. So now they just automatically generate over time,
Good.
and then when you actually use the button, you get a defense buff, and it consumes them, and then you wait them to get again.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you see here, I have 5. It shows 5 on the icon here because I used when I had 5, and now they just come
Start
back.
ramping up. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can like influence how fast they come back. I think here.
Hopefully, yeah.
And there's some other changes in the skill tree here, but the skill tree, like the overlay here, looks pretty much the same. But there's been some changes. Like for example, the divine flare. I think you can kind of maybe even.
The Hope's active effect creates a divine flare that deals fire damage to enemies in an area around you and heals allies for 50. I feel like it would be possible to make like a suicide bomber kind of thing. Like you jump in with Volta reversal and orbs, and you then as you jump in, you do like sigil of hope, symbol of hope. Just fucking boom. Just fucking blow up. I don't know how effective it is because like it will need to recharge pretty damn fast, but sounds like an idea.
Make it an actual build now.
Unless it does like a shit ton of damage, you can use that to like charge on bosses. Just like, you know, create a bunch of like chaos orbs, right? And then you teleport in, then you hit flare, and like everything just happens at once, just fucking blow up a boss. I mean, if you could do that.
You remove the defensive part of it, but now you don't have to generate the sigils anymore to then use divine flare. Now they are just generated, and then you just do divine flare instead. So it also saves you mana like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Other cool things. Vengeance, the first skill you get. I think this skill
Oh, Vengeance changed completely. There used to be like a little there used to be like, you know, this thing. Okay, this didn't change, that's fine, but the bottom one changed for sure. Because this used to be like some void shit, and then under it was other stuff. So this changed a lot. That's nice. This looks different too. Yeah, all of this. Because this used to go down here or something like that.
changed a bit. Yeah, okay. So you can now convert it to void, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
Okay, Blade of Darkness. There's base physical damage converted to void. Consequently, this damage scales with increase to void damage, yada yada. Bleed chance from all sources converted to chance to inflict time and rot. I do like Vengeance, especially with the unique hammer. The problem was the range on it. If you could increase the range on it, because it was so fucking hard to hit targets when they're like moving and shit, or like, you know, it's like one target is like right next to you and the other one is not, and you're killing this target, and then it's like you're trying to get the other one, but you're just hitting in place and it's not reaching. Even with the move into range, like it would sometimes bug out. It was so annoying. So I always opt for
you got
right.
a nice little scaler here that gives you a Swispin with your extra overcap physical resistance. And I think if you convert this also applies to the other one. So if you convert it to fire, it goes to fire. If you convert it to void, I think you have fire conversion somewhere. Yeah, so that too. You can turn your iron blades that nobody really used before into forge weapons now, and the iron blade.
As repose hits have a chance to attack with iron blades. Yeah, because like they just did no damage. There was no point in doing them. Repose is when like you get stacks when you're doing vengeance, and whenever you get hit, you will repose it, which would be you'll get reduced damage, but it will be like a counter attack kind of thing. But the Iron Blade didn't do anything. Honestly, what I hope to see for vengeance is more towards thorns, which is effectively what repose is, but it doesn't scale with you know, damage to attacker or whatever. Like it doesn't scale with like a thorns type, which is maybe it does now, I don't know, but like I love this ability, but I also hate this ability.
It can also be kind of useful. And there's some other stuff like buffing your erasing strike here. You know.
Next, Void Cleave or Erasing Strike. Yes, Void Cleave. Yes, more Void Cleave, please. More damage after you use and hit with Vengeance. Yes, please. More Void Cleave stuff. We love Void Cleave. Give us more Void Cleave.
You're smashing your face against Abby with your Vengeance to get your damage mitigation from Vengeance, and then you know, smack it with the Erasing Strike and do more damage.
Yeah, don't
What
let me
else?
stop you. Keep going.
What else? What else?
You can just
Oh,
hover over every node real quick.
Javelin.
That'll give you a few
Okay.
seconds.
Oh,
Okay.
javelin.
Here's
Okay.
big. This is
Alright, javelin is important. Any changes to how the tree is? Looks like the tree is the same. You haven't seen any differences to the tree.
big one.
Okay.
So previously, in the past, when you combined
This fucking sucked. This used to be 3 points, by the way, not 2. So this is a change. But like this would drain too much energy.
the Siege Barrage with Divine Fury, the Divine Fury, which is just adds like a new.
Divine Fury, when javelin hits an enemy, it now splits into additional piercing. Okay, so this is the yeah. This is like when you're trying to do Javazon build, but like you can't because it just costs way too much. Yeah.
You know, the PoE, D2 Lightning Fury. When you hit something, it just throws more stuff. So previously, these two did not work together. Well, that's changed. So now it does work. So you can throw a lot of lightning with javelin now.
That
Now
looks
we're
amazing.
talking.
Show me that one
It
more
looks
time.
good. Yeah.
For the people in the back need to see that again.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
it's pretty fun.
Yes,
helps a lot.
dude.
It-
Please.
so now- yeah.
Spear scaling with
Yeah.
javelin is automatic, and as Forge Guard, you can now do
Yeah.
spear with a shield.
I'm not sure if I want to open my passive trees for you here.
Yeah, right. That's a minefield.
There's a lot of changes in there. So maybe we'll say that for future. Multi Strike can now
Oh, it does that
shotgun.
too.
Yeah, it can shotgun now. So you have some really good single target play store now. Which is
That's beautiful.
it turned the skill into an actually really good skill now.
Listen, when you create more additional swords than there are nearby enemies, each remaining sword can consume mana to strike the nearest enemy, even if it was hit by the initial attack. Okay. Finally. Finally, you can use it for single target.
That's
You're saying it was really bad, and now you actually made it good. Is that what you're saying?
it lacked on the single target. Like you couldn't invest
Yeah.
into making it really good for single targets. You
Yeah.
could do stuff like smite proc stuff like that, but now you can actually make the skill do really good damage on its own.
Yeah.
What else?
Any forge
There's so
strike
much.
stuff?
I've got Void.
I think both Forge Strike and Smelter Spat are just better, basically.
Better.
Ring of Shields, yeah. Ring of Shields,
Oh.
this node that nobody ever took. I think you might be able to do something with it because Ring of Shields is a minion skill. I don't think many people know that, but it's a minion skill. And it had this
I was
fire
too
damage
bad
time, you know,
though.
nobody really use, but it might work now. And we've done a lot of small changes around Judgment because one of the things with Volta Reversal was that it was providing a lot of mana if you build it like that way. So there's like the Judgment mana dump build that you had to use Volta Reversal to get mana back. So we capped how much mana you can actually consume without nerfing the damage. So it doesn't empty your mana pool like crazy anymore, which is kind of nice. And also it just does more damage.
Well, that's a nice
so,
neat change. It's a lot of quality of life in that.
yeah, shield
We'll
throw
see, I don't
no
know.
longer has a cooldown as a baseline, which is kind of cool. It still has it so that you can only throw a shield at a time. So if your shield is still, ping going into the enemies, you can't throw another one. Well, now with 1 point, you can also remove that, so you can't just throw them as much as you want. Previously, this node, I think, regarded going through a lot of points to even get there. And if you still want to play it with a cooldown, you can do that and do more damage. And then it also now can chain off you, so you can do more chain target damage with it if you want.
Ooh.
And you can combine it with you can
Yeah,
just
if you use this as melee, you probably don't need the thing. Like it bounces off you anyways, and so then like you can throw it again. If you use like in melee range, but like in range, you would need the whole like no cooldown thing.
like a hybrid of shield throw and then something else. Use it in the cooldown and whatnot instead of just spamming the one skill.
So this is part of like the throwing niche that you're like kind of setting
Yeah.
into the Sentinel.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I think shield bash does more damage. Oh yeah, one thing that people have been asking for a long time is Rive with Void Conversion.
Oh please, yes. I have best physical damage in order to avoid. Yes, dude, finally. Additionally, your chance to echo with Rive is doubled. That changed, like that stayed, but like yeah, it didn't do void damage, which
You have
really
that now.
annoyed.
Nice.
But there's a lot of changes around here.
So a lot of people love spin to win. What are the changes to season 2 since we're
Oh,
opening up
please.
this can of worms? What's
Yes.
the changes to Warpath, if any?
I don't think there's too many changes on Warpath specifically. Some buffs here and there, I think, because Warpath is already good,
Yes.
especially if you're playing the Void Knights with the echoes, and the masteries.
That's the only viable build. Well, technically the minion warpath build also kind of viable, but it just doesn't scale very well, and the minions are not like they're smart overall compared to like other games, specifically Diablo. But like it's still like Void is like literally the only warpath build. There's the smite build is pretty bad. Like this whole side of the tree is kind of dead. Like it's fun to play with, but like it doesn't go anywhere. Like it can't even do corruption 200, which is bare minimum end game. This side is fine because it's like more damage for two-hander. This is completely unusable, drains way too much mana, and unless you build like full on mana, which then you take away a lot of your defenses, then like can't even use this. It just drains you completely. These are pretty much mandatory, like 2 and 1 at least, until you get to like maybe 5 of these, then you can remove these ones, but like, you know, even then, right? So yeah, like literally the only viable path is this, and it's like how many points? 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 points are just spent here. Then let's say you take these 3, so that's 14. Then you need these guys because it's more damage for two-hander or whatever. Was that? I think you only need 1 point here if I don't remember, and then 5 points here or 5 points here, one or the other, and then let's say you're capped, right? 1, 2, 5. You're capped, right? You got the 20. Now if you have like plus warpath, whatever, you can only get up to like what, +7, I believe, warpath. Right, so like yeah, you can play with this more, but again, you're gonna play with this side and with this side. These are kind of like dead, so I'm not too happy about no changes to Warpath. Warpath is very underwhelming unless you're doing Void Knight, which is really shitty because honestly, I think Warpath should be more fire. To be fair, like the Void part, I think is good, like the way it works. It's a bit of RNG when you leave the copies behind, but the fire one where like you're spreading fire as you go, in my opinion, should be way more viable.
I mean, just the changes to the passive trees are making it a lot better, regardless of how you play it, basically.
Hopefully.
And you were not able to show the
hopefully.
skill tree.
But I'm probably already getting fired from showing this. Maybe I'll not get sued if I don't show them. But yeah, there's a lot of changes in the passive trees, and you'll definitely learn about them. So yeah.
Yeah, we're learning right now. Like, I'm not gonna stop
Yeah,
you. Anything
yeah,
else
yeah,
want to show?
yeah.
Yeah, well, again, if the passive tree can actually make it work, then fine. But like Warpath on its own is underwhelming.
Maybe we just show the heart cheater like this too. It's way cooler. Well, okay.
Yeah.
When I do this, I need to go check that I don't actually leak anything there. So I'm gonna close my screen now, and Mike can talk
I mean,
about
get
heart
it
cheater
off screen.
while I set up my character. No, I'm gonna hide it from.
I'll
Yeah,
take
do
it.
that.
Fuck
In
it.
case.
Are there? Oh, let's do that.
So 1 second. Let me hop onto
Mike is there.
onto a marksman real quick.
Hopefully,
Okay.
there.
But does
Let's see. Is
That's
it
the same
changing
thing
characters?
we did
I just care about
Yeah,
the
I-
Paladin.
They were
Other
from
changes
terrible.
I'll find
But
out
like
as
the-
it is.
those are the
But I'm like,
device.
I'm
It's
just
a trick-
excited
it's a
about Paladin.
You shoot.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting skill. Okay, so
Okay, never
Still
mind
it's-
then. Yeah, I just care about the Paladin. Everything else is, everything else is cool, but I just care about the Paladin, right? The other shit I will find out. I don't want to have like how do you call it? Like when you're like paralyzed because of choice or stuff like that. I don't want to be excited for multiple builds, right? So, but I mean, this used to be my main, specifically Umbral Blades build, and later on the aerial assault falconer. This used to be my main, but honestly, I don't know. It felt like I'm just spamming kind of like one button and moving around. It felt very PoE like game where you just like hit one button and just everything kind of dies around you. And it's fun for a very short amount of time. Like, but it didn't feel very interactive. So that's why I just didn't like. I dropped this and I enjoyed Paladin a lot more. But yeah, anyways, that is the Paladin changes. Some of them at least. So yeah.